Dr. Dave.
Hey,
How are
Doc.
you doing today?
Fantastic, Doc. Had a beautiful day. What's going on? How you doing today? What's on your mind?
I have a topic I'd love to share, and that is how one moment in time from your past and how it could have a massive impact on the direction of your entire life.
Awesome.
And I'm going to share this. And so basically it comes down to your perceptions of what happens to you. But I discovered a moment in time from my own past, and it was around my expression through fashion that had a massive impact on how I showed up in the world. And this was, I believe it was in grade 7 or 8. And pre this moment, I would wear the most outrageous, colorful, lots of pattern type clothing. Like I had these green snakeskin pants that I would, I know you're probably like, I can't picture you wearing that. I'd wear that to school. I'd have these like bright lime green madrobes, red madrobes. I had these like bright yellow, I think they're like pilot, I don't even know what you would call them now, cargo pants.
Yeah.
And I would wear all this like really expressive clothing. And one day I was at my parents' house and I was playing basketball. I was outside with my brother and his friend Sebastian. And I had a big crush on Sebastian at the time. I thought he was the hottest boy and he was older. And I was just, really excited every time he came over. And so obviously I wanted to impress him and, really make a statement when he was here. So that day in particular, I wore these bright red and they had this like black, almost like tie-dye stain on it. And he looked at me and he said, "It looks like you got your period in your pants." Now think of a young girl who's like just started her, having her period and is looking at the sky. And, as a young girl, like even when you're buying, pads and tampons at the grocery store, you like cover all the stuff up around it so that, because it's just so embarrassing at the time to be purchasing those things. So this guy calls me out and says, "Your clothes basically look like you had your period in it." And from that moment on, up until today, I literally wear the most plain clothes ever. Straight solids, sometimes lines, not getting fancy with everything. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, that's like kind of a funny story now that you look back on it. And to some people, you're like, well, what's the significance of that story? Who cares? But the point being is that there are likely moments in time where you've had in the past where someone said something to you or someone did something to you that caused you to shut down or close up and completely change how you express yourself and how you showed up in the world. And this could be in your relationships. This could be in your business. This could be in your health. This could literally be anything. And the impact of your perception in one moment could literally have a lifetime ripple effect.
Totally. And when in your story, and so your ripple effect, what would you say was the biggest significance that it changed in you?
I never wanted to stand out, especially with fashion.
I see.
I did not want people to see me or have the chance that I could wear something a little different, that I'd get embarrassed again. And so it really closed me down into experimenting and wearing different things. And I remember like looking at other people who just have these like cool pants and jackets and all this fashion and thinking, oh gosh, I'd love that, but I can't wear that.
Yeah.
I can't do that because I'm going to get embarrassed.
Totally. Yeah. Especially at that age, you're so vulnerable to that, especially when you have a guy you have on a pedestal and so he says it, it's like really huge, and I noticed that, when I was younger, with like authority figures, someone that we might put on a pedestal as an authority, whether it's a guy or girl, or it's our parents or, teachers or whatever, when they say something to us, because we have them on a pedestal, we tend to really get hurt by it or get start changing ourselves relative to what we think their opinion is. And so that's a really great lesson for people that are listening, that, if you've had times where, you have someone on a pedestal and they say something and it changes you, it's a really good learning opportunity to try to dive in and try to see, why are they, what do I see in them that I don't see in myself? And how can I learn from this experience so I can grow and own my uniqueness and own my creativity and own all my great, parts of myself, So I think there's people that I'm sure, especially that age group, you see these teenagers that, grow up these complexes. And so that's why this work we do is so important for people who are feeling stuck in that to help dissolve some of those emotions around that. And you can actually learn from the experience and use it as a springboard and not something to hold you down,
So well said. And to highlight a few points, a lot of this comes from our mom and dad, our first relationships, or caregiver. If it's not directly our, paternal, maternal parent, it's from those moments in time where we, feel like something's wrong with us, right? That it can drastically shift something. So if you find you're avoiding doing something and you're not really sure why, or you have this fear of like, oh, I can't do that, even though I really want to, but there's just this pattern of not being able to express yourself in some way, whether that's communication with a man or a woman or certain situations, patterns that just keep happening. And you're like, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
This is what this is all about.
Yeah. Okay. If you find yourself when you get around certain types of people, you tend to shrink yourself. And so if you're finding that's happening and you're shrinking yourself around certain groups of people or certain person or types of people, then, what a great feedback that there's some real learning and some growth to do there within ourselves. And because I know that's happened throughout my life, and so I think as we learn how to go back and look and process those moments, then you can really pull out those nuggets of wisdom where before you're not able to do it. So then you take it on board and you shrink yourself comparatively. So I think it's a great thing that people out there listening could probably need some help with,
Yeah. And where, if people are looking to not shrink themselves around certain people and are interested in discovering more about this work, where can they touch base with you, Doctor?
DrDaveTuck.com is my website. So go there, you'll find everything you need. You can send me messages, ask questions, and I'll respond. So that's the best place to go. What about you, Doc?
Awesome. So if you'd love to dive into this work and just have a conversation of what it actually entails and looks like, feel free to connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or if you want to check out my website, www.drshelbyhson.com.
Beautiful. Great topic. See you soon.
Until next time.